Seat is laughing. He was on the phone earlier. They're definitely enjoying their 15 minutes of fame as they drive completely dangerously. Looks like making a right turn eastbound on Century. As you said, David, there's one of the passengers looking up at us in the helicopter. They have to be aware of us down here. We did hear the LAPD helicopter actually ask units on the ground to back off a little bit to hopefully relieve some of the pressure on this driver. And as far as spike strips are concerned, the driver is circling the same general area, but not staying on the same exact road. So it's still kind of hard to predict exactly where this driver will go and where he'll turn, making a left turn now on Clovis. We've been on Clovis before, so he's definitely hitting the same streets, probably staying in an area that he's familiar with. Exactly, yeah. Continuing northbound now on Clovis. We're monitoring. Yep. What was that, David? Exactly. Yeah, one of the little bit more open streets in the area as we make kind of an aggressive left turn there, going the wrong way, possibly making contact with an SUV there. Now on the right side of the road, looks like going westbound on 92nd Street. Some of the roads in this area do provide for a little bit of safer traversing, although at these speeds with this erratic behavior, you can see they're using the center median to drive around traffic. Any of this driving is unsafe at this speed and at this magnitude. Looks like we're making a northbound turn on McKinley, left turn on 91st Street, staying in these residential areas. Like you noticed, some of these residential streets are a little more open and a little more easier to for this suspect to kind of fly through. You can see there some pedestrians there are in these roads, and as we said, it's close to rush hour. School let out an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago, so you see possibly young people in the street as we go, looks like an eastbound turn on Avalon now, still driving at a high rate of speed and still swerving around other vehicles as these looks like three suspects in a Hyundai continue their joyride through South LA, continuing on 89th Street now westbound. And LAPD still considering this a tracking mode situation right now. They have their LAPD helicopter overhead, but they're keeping the units on the ground, keeping them at a distance while still following. So they have a lot of units in the area. Once they kind of see the pattern of a suspect staying in the same general area, they'll start to position units in various parts of the area. So if the suspect were to foot bail, if they were to get out and run, it's not just the pursuing units in the that are actually following that will have to deal with that. They have other units that can kind of merge in and start to help out with a apprehension of these suspects. Looks like that vehicle almost got some air there as we continue at a high rate of speed on 88th Street westbound. Coming up on another intersection here. It looks like it's a red light. There's some oncoming traffic there. That suspect very smartly slows down, looking and makes a right turn there, northbound on Main Street, and we've been on this street before. We're going to see what this suspect does. Hopefully there's not too much traffic on this street that this suspect has to deal with. And we're going to move Air 7 around to see if we can find out where this suspect turns after that. There he is. And I'm just aghast right now at how relaxed the driver and the suspect looks. You can see the driver with just one hand on the steering wheel earlier, just going for, afternoon joyride like any other. As we approach some other oncoming traffic there, some cross traffic coming the other way, going westbound on San Pedro Street now. And you can see there's the driver. There's the passenger. The passenger kind of making some gestures there, making a sharp right turn now on 89th Street. And from the damage to this vehicle, you can see that this driver doesn't care about damaging the vehicle and continuing on, because this vehicle's been in accidents before. We've seen him hit other things, possibly hit other vehicles. It's hard to tell because those things happen so fast. But as we go through these neighborhoods that are possibly a little bit narrow, you have to wonder if this suspect is going to hit anything or how this will end. Yeah, we've only been able to confirm the 3 people in the vehicle. The LAPD units and the air unit have only been able to confirm 3 people as well, because, as you said, those windows are tinted, and that's something that LAPD, as we run through a stop sign there at 89th and Wadsworth, that's something that LAPD often has to deal with when pulling suspects over or performing traffic stops, is those tinted windows. Now we're making a right turn on Central again, so we're staying on these streets, kind of between 85th and 95th, Central, Main, San Pedro, staying on all those general streets. This one looks a little bit of a wider street that this suspect can continue on, but it almost seems to me that this guy's maybe slowing down a little bit, and then just as I say that, he speeds up and continues westbound on Hooper, not really caring about where the lanes are, and a lot of traffic there waiting for the light, and this suspect makes a left turn there on 92nd with cross traffic coming. Just a very dangerous situation here in South LA. Yeah, they do, and they are dealing with some traffic here as this white Jeep and some other vehicles. I'm not sure what they're waiting for, if it's a stoplight up ahead, and it looks like this suspect may have come to a stop here, possibly maybe deciding. It looks like that rear passenger may have saw us up here in the helicopter, so they know that they are still being pursued. There's no way in my mind that they don't know that, but they don't see the officers behind them. So now you have to wonder what's going through these suspects' mind as far as what you were saying, David, that they're kind of getting past the initial excitement of this and are looking to kind of mellow out now and find a way out of this situation as we continue. Looks like northbound now. On Parmalee, approaching 96th Street. We're making a left turn westbound on 96th Street now, and we're just kind of staying in this same general area. Yeah, they are still in the mindset of getting away. They're not coming to a complete stop, and they're not giving up. We saw them stuck in that traffic earlier, and they just kind of waited it out, just kind of saw that the officers weren't immediately behind them, and waited for that traffic to move and carry on as we continue on Firth Boulevard, leaving 92nd Street, still at a high rate of speed, still driving dangerously around oncoming traffic and passing other vehicles as we make a right turn now, going, looks like southbound. We'll get that cross street for you shortly. And yeah, that's a good point. The windows there on the right side are all rolled up, so this might play into what we were thinking is happening here, where it's kind of a changing mindset as far as these pursuit suspects are concerned. They're getting past the kind of giddiness of initially trying to get away. Now picking up speed here a little bit, using that center median, using that left turn lane. All of a sudden we're at 60 miles an hour on surface streets, going around some of these other vehicles that are stuck in traffic. It looks like he might be stopped at that light there, not at the light, but in the intersection, continuing through in the center median. Yep, the windows rolled down again. So it's just very peculiar, the behavior of these passengers and kind of what they're what their purpose and point is here, what they're trying to prove. That's something we always ask, and what we always wonder in these pursuit situations is why do they do it? As we see a bicyclist in the middle of the roadway there, this looks like another road that's a little bit wider, that this suspect is kind of finding ways to move around a little less dangerously than earlier. But looks like Laurel Street and 92nd now is where we're at. We're slowing down a little bit, possibly making a right turn, and no, not doing a right turn. Continuing through the intersection now, approaching on Alameda now, moving around some other traffic there. And at this point, it's just a joyride for these suspects, and they are going to drive until they can no longer, it seems like. So we're going to start listening to see what LAPD does as far as possibly trying to bring this thing to an end through other means, whether they actually try and re-engage the pursuit, or whether they completely back off and see if they can deal with these suspects later, which we have seen LAPD do. It's just a matter of time now to figure out how LAPD decides to handle this situation. We do have the air unit overhead, but I haven't seen any ground units in quite some time. There's the air unit there as it flies through the shot. I'm being told now that, excuse me, I'm being told now that no ground units. Oh, and there we go. There's 1 foot bail. There's 2. There's 3. There's the 3 suspects that we thought were in the vehicle, and 3 of them exit the vehicle. So as we were just saying, there were no ground units right behind this suspect, but we do know they're in the area. So we're going to wait and see how fast or how long it takes for those LAPD units on the ground to move in and at least locate these suspects and take them into custody. It looks like one of them's either holding his hoodie, possibly on the phone there. I'm not sure what. This one was the driver, we're being told. So we're going to stay with this driver and see where that driver ends up, because that's the one that LAPD is going to be most interested in, although more than likely they're going to take all 3 of these suspects into custody. We're near Willow Place and Long Beach Boulevard. We're seeing if these suspects pop out on the other side of this building. They're possibly in the alleyway, and the LAPD air unit is calling ground units on the ground to this scene to hopefully take these 3 suspects into custody after a very dangerous pursuit. Yeah, and just to give you an idea, David, of what we're dealing with, we're in the LAX airspace, and so we have a little bit of limited capability of movement as far as staying where we are right now. And we didn't see which door they went into, but LAPD, the air unit, is calling out units to this location, and they believe possibly that the suspect went inside one of the buildings here. So we're going to at least keep monitoring the LAPD frequencies as we see some residents come out of their homes wondering what's going on. And that's kind of a dangerous situation here, because you don't know where exactly these suspects are or if they're armed. So not a good idea to come out of your home. Hopefully they go back inside their home, and if LAPD units show up shortly here, they'll be able to tell those residents to do just that. But we're trying to move Air 7 around now. We just got permission to move on the west side of the building here to hopefully see what's going on in that alleyway. Although judging from how these residents are reacting, it doesn't appear that anyone is in that alleyway anymore. So we're going to keep on working with LAPD to figure out whether these suspects actually went inside one of those apartment units on the left there, or whether they hopped the fence there on the right. It looked like they went down where that black cat was, where these residents are, and we're hearing from the LAPD unit talking on one of the common air frequencies here that they are working on the assumption that the suspects possibly went inside this building, and as they continue to get ground units on the scene here, we're gathering further information. Yeah,